So you want to retire in Thailand but don't know how much it costs. You've seen 1,000 videos where the narrators tell you wildly conflicting numbers in quick talking and badly edited fashion, and you don't know who to believe. Well, let me tell you the truth about cost of living and what's required as far as visas in plain and simple to understand terms. First of all, I'll address a myth. You've probably seen a lot of YouTube or TikTok videos saying you can live in Thailand on $500 or $700 per month. Well, that's not realistic. It's a myth, and those videos are just there to get views. You're being misled, and in this video, I'll go into detail telling you why. I don't need to tell you all the great things about Thailand. I won't pad the video telling you things like, you need to see the temples, Chiang Mai is a hidden gem, or if you're feeling lonely, head to Pattaya. If you're watching this video, you already know what the land of smiles has to offer. Let's get down to the actual numbers and what they mean. Absolute necessities are things like a mobile phone. Assuming you already have your own phone, a basic mobile phone plan will cost around 400 baht per month, or about $12 per month. This will give you around 20 gigabytes of data and 100 minutes of talk time. But don't worry, the talk time rates don't matter much in Thailand because almost everyone here uses messenger services for phone calls like Line, which are done over the internet. Thais hardly ever use their actual phone numbers to make phone calls. Electricity is a variable but necessary cost. The government rate at the time of this video is 4.15 baht per kilowatt hour, which is anywhere between half and a quarter of the rate most Western countries pay. Although rental units will sometimes add a surcharge to that rate, so you won't know what your exact rate is until you ask. Your monthly bill will mostly depend on how much you use your air conditioning. Thailand is a tropical climate, and it's not unusual to have months go by where the temperature is between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius every single day, and the nights don't bring much relief as the temperature usually only drops to 24 to 28 degrees most nights. Thailand also experiences very high humidity for a good portion of the year. If you live in the far north, it can be cooler for a couple of months a year in January and February, but my advice to anyone regarding to costs is to budget around 3,000 baht per month for electricity, or around $100. You may not spend that much, but it's better to budget for it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Now that all that's out of the way, let's talk about the big cost, the cost of housing. The first consideration is where in Thailand you want to reside. Bangkok is going to be more expensive to live than Rayong. A small village in northern Thailand will be cheaper than Sriracha. Your location is key to costs. One thing about Thailand that isn't necessarily true in Western countries is that prices drop very rapidly the farther you get away from highly urbanized areas and tourist areas. An apartment in the suburbs of Bangkok could be one-third the price of an apartment on Sukhumvit Road near Nana. If you're in Bangkok and say to yourself, I need to be in the center of it all, near the big malls, near Nana Plaza, and have close access for the BTS, then you're paying a premium for rent. An apartment in the Sukhumvit Road area will set you back anywhere from 20,000 baht to 60,000 baht per month for a 20 to 30 square meter apartment. That's between $600 and $1,800 per month. Less expensive than large Western cities, but expensive for Thailand. There are cheaper places in the area, but they are more like room rentals and not apartments. They will also tend to be more Thai style with the wet bathroom and possibly no air conditioning. For the purposes of this video, all the prices I give will be for apartments that someone would consider Western style and have at least 20 square meters of space and Western comforts. Moving on to the suburbs of Bangkok, some deals can be found. You will be a little further from where the action is in mostly Thai neighborhoods, but there will still be plenty of food and shopping options nearby. There will be the usual 7-Elevens on every corner and many restaurants and likely a nearby night market. Still a wonderful experience, but less tourists and expats in your neighborhood, you won't be as likely to find a gleaming glass skyscraper to live in. But some perfectly fine apartments will be available. Expect the prices to drop to around 10,000 baht to 20,000 baht for a nice, air-conditioned one-bedroom apartment. That's around $300 to $600. Of course, bigger and more expensive units can be found out in the suburbs also, but remember, we're looking at the minimum for a comfortable lifestyle. I'm going to move on to medium-sized cities now. Places like Chiang Mai, Hua Hin, Rayong, and other cities with 50,000 to 200,000 people still have all the amenities like shopping malls and Western restaurants, but they're not nearly as crowded and tend to have better traffic and far less tourists to drive prices up. In these cities, it's not unusual to find a perfectly comfortable apartment in the 5,000 baht to 10,000 baht range, or $150 to $300 range, depending on where in the city you look. Also, smaller cities have an option that's not readily available in Bangkok, and that's to rent an actual house with a yard and parking. A house in these regions is usually a 2 to 4 bedroom house and can be had for between 15,000 and 35,000 baht per month. The next option is small towns and villages. This is not usually a place where expats settle down because there are almost no creature comforts in these areas. There will be no shopping malls, no Western food, or extremely little Western food, and there may only be 1 or 2 7-Elevens within a reasonable distance. That's it. However, some people do like the simple, quiet life, so this is for them. You will likely not find any sort of condominium here, or any tall buildings. There are rentals, but they will usually never be Western style. It will usually be a room, a small basic apartment, or small Thai-style house. Rents can be as cheap as 1,000 baht per month, or $35, but you will get a room with a fan, no aircon, and a bathroom with a squat toilet. Moving up to the 3,000 to 5,000 baht range, we'll possibly get a small Thai-style house, but once again, with no Western amenities. This type of living is for people who truly do like the simple life. One further option is to build your own house, which can be done cheaply here. Foreigners cannot own land in Thailand, but you can lease land for many years, 20, 30, or even 40 years, and build your own home on it. I don't recommend this option before you thoroughly look over the possible pitfalls because it can be a risky venture. Finally, the last option is tourist regions. I saved this for last because there are a lot of variables with these areas. Places like Phuket, Krabi, Koh Samui, and Pattaya are examples of these places. They are usually medium-sized cities, but depending on where you are in the city, the costs can vary drastically. In Phuket, for example, if you are anywhere within walking distance of Patong Beach, expect to pay 5 to 10 times more. For everything, food will be more expensive, housing will be more expensive, entertainment will be more expensive, and they will be considerably more expensive. A lot of restaurants in the area sell food at up to 10 times what one would consider a normal Thai price. The reason for this is tourism. Phuket is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, and every year hundreds of thousands of tourists flood the area. This makes it crowded, messy, and expensive. Pattaya has the same issue, but if you feel like you want to live near all the hustle and bustle of the tourist areas, you can find deals as long as you look a few kilometers away from the main tourist area. In Pattaya, for example, a small apartment near the beach will cost around 15,000 to 30,000 baht, which is expensive for a city of this size. But if you move away from the beach and go to where the locals call the dark side, there is far less tourism and prices are more reasonable. An apartment there will cost 8,000 to 10,000 baht. So keep that in mind if you want to live in a tourist area. So now let's summarize and come up with some final numbers. What will it cost every month to live comfortably in Thailand? Well, let's start with our utilities and food. electric, phone, water, and food should have a total budget of around 12,000 baht per month, or around $400. You can skimp on these things, but I'll point out again, I'm giving prices of what the average person would find comfortable at a minimal price. Then there's rent. The average minimum for an apartment would be around 10,000 baht to 15,000 baht, or $300 to $425 per month minimum, and add around $200 to $300 USD for Bangkok. Then you would need to have a budget for household things, things like soap, shampoo, other grooming items, and clothes. I would recommend setting this budget at about $150 USD minimum. That gives us a total of close to 30,000 baht per month, or around $890 USD. Now remember, these are just your basics. We'll do a quick example of a theoretical expat. He has no car, but pays for taxis or public transit on a regular basis. I would add about $60 a month for that. He pays for health insurance and he is around 55 years old, which costs him about 150 USD per month. His visa costs 7,000 baht per year, or 210 USD. Break that down monthly, and it comes to just about $20 per month. So what's his total? $1,120 per month would be the bare minimum this expat would need to live a relatively comfortable life. Closer to 1,400 if he were in central Bangkok. This will not pay for Western meals every night, or nights out drinking beer at a go-go. There wouldn't be much entertainment. You would need to add at least $200 per month for some entertainment, but $1,120 would let you live comfortably. You wouldn't be hungry with dirty clothes, living in a hot room with a fan, and no aircon. Hopefully, this answers any questions about the myth of the $500 per month expat life in Thailand. Yes, technically it can be done, but it would be miserable and dangerous. You would always be hot, hungry, and in peril if you ever got sick or injured. It's not realistic. Please, don't move to Thailand thinking you could live anything resembling a comfortable, normal life on 500 USD. Thailand is a beautiful, amazing place to be and live. And I want anyone who comes here to experience that and not be miserable, homeless, and sick. So that's all for this video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It costs nothing, but helps us creators out more than you could ever know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.